Good Monday evening. I am Orange G, and this is the Orange G SWAC Sports Network. What a wild and exciting and angry and good and bad and ugly weekend in SWAC football. It all went down this weekend. Conference play. A lot of slow singing and flower bringing. But hey, we made it through there. What a great weekend in SWAC football. And it hurts me to see this, but I'm going to read it to you and give you my opinions and my thoughts about this. And I don't like it. But last week, the commissioners of the CIAA or the CIAA or the SI and the SIC, MEAC, and SWAC got together to petition members of Congress to pass legislation that would help create a level playing field for HBCU athletes regarding to NIL. All right, CIA, SIAC, MEAC, and SWAC. I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're trying to do. You wanted to be equal amongst. But I guarantee you, out of every conference I name, they're business owners. Some of them make great money that are alumni or fans of not only your conference, of a school. We need to do this amongst ourselves. Going to Congress and telling them, hey, equal the playing field. Listen, all four commissioners, we've been fighting for equality since our ancestors first stepped on here. We're not going to do it through legislation. We have to do our own. Take the Negro Leagues, Rube Foster, and them other eight owners. Our economy, quality of life was a whole lot better. Not equality amongst racists in the United States. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about people that own those Negro League baseball teams did great business throughout Black communities. We can do this. I understand you going to Congress and asking for, hey, equal the playing field. Don't hold your breath. I'm going to say this again. Every conference that I just named has business owners. Do not try to sit there and shortchange yourself. I would go to all my alumni that has a business. Some of them make real good money. Hey, look, would you be interested in the NIL with what player? That's how it works. You get these other schools, they do it all the time. First thing people gonna say, oh, the alumni don't donate money. Look, we have to find a way, like my tickers say, donate 2 tickets to a SWAC sports game. You got volleyball going on, you got soccer going on, you got football going on, you about to have fall softball going on. If you cannot go to these games, buy 2 tickets. I do it every week. Everybody that's a YouTube content creator that's not going to the game, buy 2 tickets. Donate them to somebody. We can do this. And I'm not saying that's everything, because they go on further to say, give me a second so I can scroll down on this article. I'm still learning how to work this share screen stuff, but we can do this, man. I just don't like going to Congress and asking them for anything. So now this is the part that really stuck with me. Here it is on the screen. Like majority of our Division II and mid-major peers, most HBCUs do not generate significant revenue and rely heavily on school appropriated funds and donations. Therefore, classifying student athletes as employees would have a staggering impact on our athletic program in schools. We understand, and I definitely know, how the land-grant colleges, especially HBCUs, have been underfunded on purpose. 526 million to Alabama A&M, and the list goes on and on and on. Southern should be booming. They're the only HBCU that does medical marijuana or THC, whatever that stuff is you want to call it. So what I'm getting at is, I understand what y'all are saying, but it's going to be hard to recruit somebody if they read this article from HBCU Game Day, which shockingly, HBCU Game Day has a great article about this. I'm just not into thinking Congress is going to do anything. And then when a coach goes on the road to recruit somebody, you basically tell them, hey, we broke and don't have no money. But the money can be made, especially at your football games. Look at your attendance to the HBCU that you like. SWAC, MEAC, SIAC, CIAA. Look at the attendance. There's no way you expect to garner any type of revenue. And Gremlin, I'm going to call you out. You had 2 home games. And I guarantee you, those 2 home games, you didn't have a total of 20,000 people there. Unacceptable. And 2 great football games at that. Unacceptable. So, commissioners, I understand what you're saying, but we must do this amongst ourselves. These classics that we're having, they all fine and great, but what city is actually making the money? You mean to tell me that I'm going to just throw a number out there, and I know this is not for every classic. Say you get $500,000. You know how much it costs to travel, football team, equipment, band? So say if you did get $500,000, hotel rooms, you're going to spend half of that there. Now, how about you sell out your own home stadium so you don't have to worry about that stuff? Every home game in the SWAC should be sold out. I looked at every game this past weekend. The numbers are just horrible, except for Jackson State. FAMU, you're supposed to be the best in the SWAC this year. 17,000 people playing against Alabama State, that's unacceptable. Oh, and I got the numbers from last year. See, this year numbers are just coming in. So we only 4 games into it. So folks can say you early in the season all you want to. But this right here, I don't like this. But I do not sit on anybody's board. And I'm pretty sure if I called them and told them that I didn't like this, the first thing they're going to do is say, where's your money to give to my school, my university or college? I got that. I'm doing my part. This spring, I'm having crawfish for the cause. And my cause is to send a student to a SWAC school off the donations that I received from boiling crawfish. It can be anywhere from a $500 scholarship to a $5,000 scholarship, whatever folks give me. Because I boil crawfish all throughout the spring. Well, hell, if the crawfish come out in November, you'll see me with a sack then. But I take the money and I find a student that's going to a SWAC school and give him or her, give him what he got. And I don't want nothing from you besides do well in school, pay it forward or pay it backward or whatever you want to call it. But this right here, like I said, I understand what these people are doing and I respect them. They got PhDs, but sometimes going to Congress and asking for something, hell, if the governors are not giving the land grant colleges the money, do you really think Congress is really going to do anything? Because the first thing they're going to say, we give y'all money. Anyway, now that's my soapbox for this early Monday evening. If I bored you with that, I'm sorry. But that just got to me. All right, let's get down to, hold on. Before I continue to the scores, let me tell you about the attendance from last season and where the SWAC ranks. Give me 1 second. Here it is right here. Boom. All right, blow this up. Now this is from, hope you can see this. This is from last season, the FCS schools. Of course, number 1, Jackson State. Average home attendance for Jackson State was 42,049. That right there, that's easily a couple of million. And then I'm going to say this again. I've said this before. Everybody eats when you have attendance like that. T-shirt man, parking attendants, bookstores, souvenirs. Everybody's eating. Tailgating passes, parking passes. All that money goes to you directly. So 42,000 for 5 or 6 games. You do the math. All right. Now the next SWAC school is Southern, 19,844. That's pretty doggone good, Southern. Salute to you. So you right on up there in attendance. And I know that you wish it could be more. And I got to give it to Southern and Jackson State. The only sellout we've had this entire football season, HBCU or not. Not HBCU or not. HBCU, including the SWAC, I should say. All right. The next school after that, Alabama State, had 18,000. 30,000 seat stadium. So, okay. And you got probably one of the nicest stadiums in there outside of what is that? Prairie View. Not Prairie View. Yeah, Texas A&M. Texas Southern. So then you go down, you got the next school. Listen to this. Alcorn comes in at 9 in the FCS at 16,000. All right. So that's Jackson State, Southern, Alabama State, and Alcorn was top 10. After that, you got to go down to number 13, Florida A&M. My goodness, Rattlers. Your average home crowd last year was 14,418. Come on. And I understand the ticket prices. You're probably making more money on ticket prices than a lot of other schools because your tickets are kind of expensive, but not really. But still. And then you have to, and then after that, you're going down to like 6,000, 7,000 with Prairie View and Texas Southern. Come on, man. This cannot be the standard. So I'm challenging all YouTube creators that follow HBCU football and especially SWAC content creators. Y'all have these big, nice platforms. Y'all have 100 times the followers that I have. You ought to have it on there. Donate 2 tickets to a HBCU sport event. That's what you ought to be doing. You can't go buy 2 tickets and send it to somebody that want to go. So this NIL, this money situation, we can fix our own problems. It can start right here at these football. Just imagine if Southern was to average 25,000 every home game. See what I'm saying? Say if Alcorn was to average 20,000. These numbers are not that far off from what I'm asking each school to do. And these are some of the good football games. Man, I wish the Alcorn and and pay-per-view game wouldn't have ended. But hey, all good things must come to an end. So, and these numbers come from herosports.com. So you don't want to believe me, they're there for you. Now we can get to football. Week 4 in the SWAC. It was conference time, baby. And the SWAC did not disappoint. They delivered. Hey, I can tell you this in the SWAC. Clean up these damn penalties. My goodness, Grambling. You lead the league in penalties. And some of your best players are getting penalties. Just about every game that I've seen, well, I've seen all of them, it was a penalty that really caused a breaking rhythm in the offense, or you hurt your defense so bad that caused your opponent's team to score. Can't do that, man. So let's get on to it, man. All right. Starting off Thursday, if y'all missed a good game, Arkansas Pine Bluff went down to Hunts Vegas. Oof. Good luck up there. Alabama pulled it off, 31-24. But this is the thing. Welcome to the show, Mr. Casey. Quincy Casey threw for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead Alabama A&M to a 31-24 win over Arkansas Pine Bluff on Thursday night. ESPNU had the game. Should I beat that dead horse again? Go to the game, y'all. My goodness. There was hardly anybody there. Casey, second touchdown pass to Barry White with 750. That's his third touchdown pass with 7:53, made it a 31-24, capping off a string of 3 straight touchdown possessions, 4 and 5 for both teams. So it was a back and forth game. They were rolling. But UAPB does not give up. UAPB in the fourth quarter, they got inside the got inside the Alabama A&M 10 before a holding penalty and a fumble gave the Bulldogs the ball back with 3:35 to play. Say again, a holding penalty and a fumble at the 10-yard line. I tell you what, though, Arkansas Pine Bluff, I watch your coach do his press conference. Well, I watch all the press conference on Monday. Hey, you got a good coach, very motivating, and like he said, his team been undisciplined and it caused them to lose the game. Man was spot on. Enough for that one. Well, and Mr. Casey was the SWAC offensive player of the week. Also, good for him. It's good to see. Next up, Mississippi Valley. Woo! Went up to Indianapolis, and it wasn't too good. That's all I can say. Valley was down 14-0 before they realized they was playing in the football game. Yeah, like they said, it was a nice event and blah, blah, blah. I'm not fond of these classics. So, and I'm not saying I don't like the classic itself. I just wish they would play home and home. If y'all can show up in Indianapolis, but you can't show up in Itabena, come on now. That's just my take on it. All right. It wasn't too many highlights or anything on that one. Next up, Texas Southern versus Grambling State. Hey, Grambling, I tell you what, you clean up them penalties, you probably average 45 points a game. Texas Southern with the backup QB, which he did a good job. That young man can throw that ball now. And like I tell folks, if you're going to beat Grambling, you're going to have to score over 30 points. Mr. Miles Crawley threw for 2 touchdowns, and Floyd Chalk, the fourth, ran for 2 scores, and Grambling beat Texas Southern 35-23 on Saturday in the Southwestern Conference opener for Grambling. Grambling's undefeated in the SWAC West. Watch out now. Crowley threw for 195, and Mr. Rash was the recipient of his 2 scores. Mr. Chalk carried the ball 17 times for 88 yards. And Chance Williams, my goodness. When I tell you Chance Williams went off, 19 carries, 174 yards, and scored once. Grambling outgained Texas Southern 477-271. Wow. 477 total yards against 271. The G-Men offense is rolling. But guess what? Grambling, you couldn't stop me with these 2 bad knees and 2 left ankles. Got to do better, coach. Got to do better. But Texas Southern, wasn't that bad. Because Jace Williams, that's the quarterback they have at Texas Southern now, he threw 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers. A.J. Bennett, Ian Means, and Jaron Johnson, and went 14 for 24 for 153 yards and connected with 8 different receivers for Texas Southern. But more victories, TSU. You 0-4 and 0-2 in the conference. Hey, man. Everybody keeps saying something's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you why this week is coming up is woof. It's going to be crucial. All right. Alabama State and Florida A&M. I'm going to tell you this to the Rattlers. Yes, you won 23-10. Yes, your defense only gave up 10 points. Yes, your defense is ranked 2nd in the SWAC behind Southern at giving up only 17 points a game. I got all that. I'm telling you now, I watched this game and I rewatched it Sunday. Alabama State, you exposed FAMU to something that I hope the rest of the SWAC was looking at. FAMU secondary needs work. A lot of work. All right, I'm telling you. This score at half was 14-3. The score should have been 10-14. Alabama State dropped a touchdown in the end zone. Then they scored again, and it got called back for a man downfield. So that's 2 touchdowns in the same possession that was called back. So you ended up selling for a field goal. Mind-boggling. But anyway, in Tallahassee, Florida, Jeremy Musa threw for 2 first-half touchdowns, and Isaiah Major had a 40-yard pick 6. That pick 6 is what won that game for y'all. In the closing minutes, as Florida A&M extended its home winning streak to 17 games. So you got a home winning streak of 17 games. So I guess, FAMU, you can't be beat down in that snake hole. But hey, that's 2-0 in the conference. Now it's starting to get real. Because I've been telling folks, some of these teams are not going to lose 3-4 games. Anything can happen, but I don't see 3-4 games they're going to lose. Whether it's Grambling, Prairie View, or Florida A&M. But anyway, keep on going. See, Damian Stewart got the Hornets within a touchdown by hitting Asa Gregg with a 47-yard touchdown pass in the opening minutes of the second half. Right there. don't do them stupid penalties or drop a touchdown, the score is tied 14-14 going into at the start of the third quarter. But hey, it happens. So, but the Hornets later missed a 20-yard field goal attempt. FAMU started forcing punts and a pick six. The Hornets and stopped the Hornets on fourth down to preserve the victory. Now, Musa was 25 of 40, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns. Guess what Mr. Stewart was? 23 of 38 for 289 yards. Mr. Johnson, KJ, Kasim Johnson, he had 8 catches for 112 yards for Alabama State. Guess what, Alabama State? You 0-1 in the division now. You're going to need some help and some hoping. So how it's looking right now, it's starting to take shape. But FAMU secondary, and this quarterback wasn't even a starting quarterback. So FAMU, you better work on your secondary, especially if you have to play a team like Grambling, a Prairie. Good luck, man. Prairie, I'm not gonna lie, FAMU only gives up 79 yards rushing. But once you start throwing that ball, something starts happening down there. This game right here, Prairie View A&M versus Alcorn State. This game shouldn't have never end. This was a good game. On Alcorn, I want my $20 back because I watched this game. And you had to pay for the subscription. Wasn't no big deal. I'm joking about those $20, man. It was well worth it. In Lorman, Mississippi, Carlos Villagomez booted a 46-yard field goal with 1 second remaining to lift Prairie View to a 23-20 victory over Alcorn State. Ahmad Antoine, go ahead, New Orleans. What's happening, brother? A 4-yard touchdown run gave the Panthers the lead with 6:50 to play. Aaron Allen capped a 6-play drive with a 49-yard scoring drive to Malik Rogers to pull the Big Bad Braves to even at 20, 4-5 remaining. Trayvon Conley directed a 10-play, 83-yard drive, leading Villagomez to game-winning kick. Conley hit Brian Jenkins Jr. for a 23-yard gain on 3rd and 10 to keep the drive alive. Wow, Big Bad Braves broke down on defense. Mr. Conley completed 12 of 19 for 187 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Prairie View. He had a short touchdown run. And Mr. Antoine, New Orleans, baby, rushed for 78 yards on 16 carry. And Trajan Spiller had the touchdown catch. Allen for Alcorn completed 26 of 37 for 287 yards. I told you that young man can play some football. Let him throw. And I like that. He threw for 287, 2 scores. And, hey, the season is still, it's winnable, salvageable. Rogers finished the game with 3 catches and 86 yards, caught 6 passes, and who was that caught those 6 passes? Mr. Griffin caught 6 passes for 69 yards and a touchdown. Alcorn outgained the Panthers 384-313. Very good game. Very good, very close. Now, it surprised me that Alcorn quarterback almost threw for 300 yards. So, hey, now you seeing that this young man can throw the ball. Trust him. Trust him. And I do have, and y'all bear with me, because I do have that game-winning kick. I'm starting. Let's see if I can do this right.
First down, PVAT. First down. And going back to the run here to the 30-yard line and down to the 27. So they're methodically moving the ball down the field in small chunks. So the Panthers have to push this down the field. Conley, and they run the football here, trying to get the negative yards back and to the 34-yard line with 33 seconds. I need to get to the 24. Conley on third down. They just run the football straight ahead to the 30, brought down at the 29.
Straight up the middle.
So from here, 46-yard field, PATs until the last one.
Here it is.
They'll spot this one at the 36 and a half. From 46 for the Panthers. 1 second left.
I hate to do this to y'all.
Snap that ball out. Kick is up. Plenty of distance, and the field goal is good. The Panthers with a walk-off field goal, and they win it 23-20.
You see how the referees got out of there?
46-yard field goal by Carlos De La Gomez.
Well, I hate to do that to y'all, Corn, but that was too good. That young man, that could have been good from 50, 53, 54. But hey, you know, hey, it happens, brother. It happens. I'm still working on these highlights there. All right. Next up, I'm going to tell y'all something. These SWAC schools that are 0-4, 1-2, 1-3, when they playing on the road, they have nothing to lose. They know the chances of them winning a division game are slim to none. You better be careful. You better be careful. I'm going to say this again. You better be careful. Bethune-Cookman and Jackson State, that's not a sexy score. It was 22-16. I'm telling you now, if Bethune-Cookman would have had any type of offensive urgency or any type of offensive mindset, we could have been looking at one of the first upsets in the SWAC. But Jackson State defense came to actually play. Started off with a safety. All right. It was the home debut for Jackson State. It was a W.C. Gordon. It was a red out. JSU, salute to you. The numbers coming in, they say you had anywhere from 39,000 to 40,000. Hey, I know Bethune-Cookman, y'all didn't even bring a minivan full of people. That's sad. But last year, you wanted to play in Jacksonville Stadium to try to make something out of nothing. Come on, Bethune-Cookman. You cannot expect people to come to your home and show up and bring the crowd with them. And then when it's your turn to travel to their home, you don't even bring a minivan full of people? Whatever. All right. Irv Mulligan raced 66 yards for a touchdown, and Jason Brown threw for a 2-point conversion to cement Jackson State's 22-16 win over Bethune-Cookman in the Tigers' home opener. After opening the season with 4 road games, I say again, after opening the season with 4 road games, whoever hell made that schedule need they behind kick. Nobody needs to play 4 road games like that, man. That makes no sense. Because you got to show me the cost analysis sheet. What it cost you to travel and what did you make on 4 road games? If you ain't made no $15, $20 million, you fail. I don't care what nobody say. You should at least 15 million. I ain't gonna say 20, just at least 15 million for that. But anyway, this was Coach T.C. Taylor home debut. Salute to Coach T.C. Taylor. Because it ain't too many schools can go through what you went through for us becoming a head coach, 50 players leaving, 50 players coming in, you're making it all work, you're feeling yourself. But hey, we're gonna work it out. That's what Coach TC say, you know. And he had a great, if you watch the interview, press conference, he was talking about the portals and stuff. He was like, hey, this ain't nothing new to them. People always calling. You get people that's not getting playing time. So they want to move on. They want to go to somewhere else. He said it's kind of like the NFL free agent. Hey, so get ready. Mr. Mulligan carried the ball 21 times for 174 yards to set the tone for Jackson State, which ground game outrushed. Ground game. That's wrong. The ground game had 260 yards and put up 348 total yards while holding Bethune-Cookman at 230 yards. So Isaac Peppers, hey, that young man's a beast. Somebody shoots him out of a cannon every time. That sack was safety in the end zone. So, and of course Simmons, he for Bethune-Cookman touchdown pass with 2:05 left. I guess if Vegas had Jackson State winning by 7, you would have lost. But it is what it is, man. And I do have a cool little highlight. I'm a little curse it. This is a cool little highlight here from Jackson State. So where's it at?
The Wildcats didn't really get set. They were still
this right here
going on. And
that's Mulligan. Look at him wide receivers downfield.
Mulligan is going to be gone. Breaks it. Now it's a foot race. 20, 10. He's in for the touchdown.
And that right there,
Mulligan breaks this game wide open with that touchdown run.
Great sleep is a
well, and that one right there. I don't know what that is. That one right there pretty much sealed you. Bethune. But hey, good game though. You didn't give up the fight. So, like I said, I'm still working these highlights. Wait the baseball season. I'm gonna have all this straight. All right. And that was all the games. Now, moving right along till the SWAC standings after week 4. I'm telling y'all now, it's time not to hit the panic button, but it's time to start asking, hey, coach, we can't lose another. The standings in the SWAC. It's a lot of y'all. Can't lose another one. In the East, FAMU 2-0 in the conference. Jackson State 1-1 in the conference. Alabama A&M 1-1 in the conference. Alabama State 0-1. Bethune-Cookman 0-1. And Valley, your first SWAC game is against FAMU this Saturday in Valley. Can this be an upset in the Delta? FAMU is on a 2-game winning streak. Jackson State, Alabama A&M is on a one-game winning streak. Alabama State on the 2-game losing streak. Bethune-Cookman on the 2-game losing streak. And Valley's on a 3-game losing streak. In the West, the Wild Wild West. Before I move to the West, in the East, I'm telling y'all right now, if FAMU wins against Valley, that's 3-0. That means in order for them to lose the SWAC East, they would have to lose to Alabama A&M and Bethune-Cookman. Come on now. Do the math. So the East might be over with. Might be the battle for the second place by the end of Saturday night. but anything can happen. Now in the West, this right here, the State Fair Classic, not against the State Fair Classic, but I just don't understand how y'all can put 56, 60,000 people in that stadium and neither one of y'all can sell out your own home stadium. Maybe y'all to play a 1-1 at each other's home. And I understand the difference. Y'all are both 3 hours from Dallas. It's the fair. But look who's making the money. Look how many hot dogs they're going to buy and deep fried pork chops and all that other crap they got up there at that fair and all that stuff. The economics just don't sit well with me. So, but hey, y'all enjoy and have fun. Prairie View is 2-0. Grambling State is 1-0. So we have 3 undefeated teams in the SWAC right now. 2 in the 4, excuse me. 2 in the East and 2 in the West. Prairie View is 2-0. Like I said, Grambling State is 1-0. But my bad, Southern is also undefeated. So we have 5. My bad, I forgot Southern. That's right, because they was off last week. They 1-0. Alcorn State 0-1. Arkansas Pine Bluff 0-1. Texas Southern 0-2. I'm telling you right now, in the West, y'all need to be pulling for Grambling. If you don't pull for Grambling and Prairie View wins, Prairie View is not going to lose 3 SWAC games. I'm telling y'all, 3 SWAC West games. Even though they got to play Southern, but that'll be only 1 loss. Do the math. You do the math. So, hey, by Saturday night, I might go ahead on and say, hey, it's a wrap. Y'all, everybody playing for second place. But if Grambling does win, that would make not only would the Bayou Classic be huge, but that would make Prairie View want to whoop everybody and Southern whoop everybody and pray. So Grambling, that high power offense you got, but you can't stop nobody. And I'm telling you now, Prairie View is going to run on you. They're going to run on you. And your run defense is pretty shaded right now. So we're going to see. So that's the standings for the SWAC East and SWAC West. Overall records, we can go with the East. FAMU is 3-1. Jackson State is 3-2. Alabama A&M is 2-2. Alabama State is 1-2. Bethune is 1-3. Valley 0-3. Prairie View 2-2. After starting off 0-2, after starting off, was they 1-1? Yeah, they was 1-1. Yeah. Yeah, they ended up losing 2 games. Then they came back and won the first game in this 4th game. That's right. Grambling State is 2-2. Southern 1-2. Alcorn State 1-3. Pine Bluff 1-3. And Texas Southern 0-4. Well, that's the standings. Now, let's get to some overall football statistics for the SWAC. Here we go. Through week 4. All right, this is total offense. It shouldn't be no surprise that Grambling through 4 games is leading. The average is what they average in 297? But my bad. 397 yards a game. No, that's 297. 297 yards a game. Followed by Prairie View and then Jackson State. My bad. That's FAMU is in second. I apologize, fam. I know, Grambling State, FAMU, and Jackson State. That's your top 3 in total offense. And they're pretty much running neck and neck, 297, 294, and 290. That's your top 3 offenses. Now, top 3 in your defense, Southern, FAM, and Alabama State. See, FAMU has a tough rushing defense. They're not letting you run. So when you think about stopping the run, gotcha. FAMU gonna stop you running. I don't think they've allowed in the SWAC, they've not allowed 100-yard rushing. I may be wrong, but I'm gonna have to double check on that. So now let's go to what is this? The best rushing defense, offensive defense. Of course, Grambling, they're averaging 179 yards rushing, followed by Perryview with 175, then Jackson State with 161. That's your top 3. Now, rushing defense, FAMU, they only allow 72 yards a game rushing. Alabama State is only allowing 90, and Southern is allowing 96. So that's some great defenses. Those 3 schools are not, they're, except that the Jackson State game with Southern. The Jackson State, their duo running, their combo running back, I should say, they're not getting enough respect, in my opinion. Because Hunt, he can hit you for a long one, and Mulligan can hit you for a long one. Hunt has had 75-yard run against Southern, and Mulligan had a 66-yard run to close out that game. Let's go to passing offense. Of course, FAMU, you number 1 in passing. You average 281 yards a game, followed by Southern with 237. Mr. Blood, go ahead on. Jackson State with 228. That's your top 3. Now, defense. Southern pass defense is, wow, only 100. They only giving up 197 yards. So when FAMU and Southern meet, most likely, and barring some wild event, you're going to have the top passing offense against the top passing defense. So that ought to be a good one there. Jackson State, you number 2 in pass defense, followed by Alabama State. So Alabama State, Jackson State, Southern, and FAMU, they're all top 3, except Grambling when it comes to offense. So now your efficiency, which, man, ain't too much worried about that. That's the same 3, FAMU, Jackson State, and Grambling in passing defense, FAMU, Alabama State, Jackson State. So it's everything is starting to basically widen or go down, starting to go into their own. All right. Defense. Sacks against. Grambling only gave up 4 sacks. Man. Alcorn against 4 sacks. Alabama State, 7. Wow. Sacks by. FAMU has 14 sacks on the season. Jackson State has 12. And Pine Bluff had 10. Sorry about that. So that's pretty. The defenses are FAMU and Jackson State and Pine Bluff. So Southern and Pine Bluff gets together this weekend. All right. We're going to see. Well, all right, the leaders in rushing. I'll give you the top 3 leaders in rushing. Mr. Mulligan from Jackson State, 5 games, 85 attempts, 496 yards, 5.8 a carry, 5 touchdowns, and as long as it's 66, and he's averaging 99 yards. Wow. Mr. James Davis from Pine Bluff, which he didn't play last game. He was hurt. But he has 3 games, 49 attempts, 283 yards, 5.8, 1 touchdown, longest 26. Next is Chance Williams from Grambling. Through 4 games, 44 attempts, 361 yards, 8.2 a carry, 2 touchdowns, longest has been 36. And look at Mr. Antoine. I'm telling you, that man is coming. 59 attempts, 299 yards, 5.1, 1 touchdown, longest 28. He's averaging 74 yards a game. So your top 3 rushers in the SWAC is averaging 99 yards, 94 yards, and 90 yards. So we still don't have a 100-yard rusher just yet. Well, Mr. Mulligan, you only 0.8 away. So 0.8 tenths of a point away. All right. So passing, Mr. Musa. 4 games, 79 completions, 132 attempts, 3 interceptions. Your percentage is only 59%. But you do have 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, the longest of 68. You're averaging 272 yards a game. All right. Number 2 is Mr. Blood from Southern. 3 games, 56 completions. 56 completions, attempted 102. You have 4 interceptions though. 54%, 688 yards, 3 touchdowns, your longest 64. Now, this player right here in passing, he's holding the 3rd spot down right here. Mr. Miles from Grambling. 4 games, 67 completions, 113 attempts, only 1 interception. He's 59.3. He has 865 yards, 8 touchdowns. So him and Musa are tied with the most touchdown passes in the SWAC. Longest is 67. Average in game is 216 yards. So hey, it's coming along. It's coming along. So you got to realize that, hey, we getting there. The top receivers, number 1 from Alabama State, KJ Kassan Johnson, that's a bad joker there, man. He'll put something on you. Through 3 games, he has 24 receptions, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, as long as it's been 63. He's averaging 13.4 yards a catch. Rico Powers, Jackson State, comes in number 2 through 5 games, 20 receptions, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, longest 66. He's averaging 18.5. Wow. Rico, that dude. All right, and Alabama A&M is Terrell Gardner. Excuse me. 4 games, he had 14 catches, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 62 is as long as he's 16 yards a catch. All right, so that's a few stats for going through week 4. And in 2 weeks, we'll be at the halfway point with this week, and then next week we're at the halfway point of the season. So the halfway season award should be coming up. I just gave you a glimpse. I'm going to do a whole show on that. And just like I gave you the top 3, I'll give you the top 5 for that. But it's getting a little late. I know some of y'all got to get up and go to work. Got to make that money. But it's all good in the hood. Like I said, I had that on my mind this morning when I read that article. Like I keep on saying, we can do this. I understand what they're doing with Congress and asking, but we can do this ourselves. We must support your school and all other 11 schools in the SWAC. Once we start doing that, we ain't gonna have this problem. Y'all have a great rest of your work week. I will see y'all Wednesday. Until then, what that ticker say? Donate 2 tickets to a SWAC sports game. I don't care if it's volleyball, soccer, or football. Let's make this happen. You have a good night. Peace.